Let's see about sorting. So what exactly is this sorting? Here we are going to study about merge sort. Let's say we want to sort a given list of n integers in non-decreasing order. The most common way of carrying out this sorting consists of two parts. That is, in the first part we are going to split the given list and all subsequent lists in half until each of the sublists contains exactly a single element. Okay, so this is the introduction to sorting, and we are basically using merge sort. Now, Mrs. Archana Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in the Department of ISC, Canada Engineering College. So far you have gone through various video presentations of DMS course. So in this presentation you will look into various problems that is related to sorting, plus also the concept of prefix code and weighted trees along with its problems. So as I have told you, what is merge sort? We are going to first split up the entire list of numbers. Let's say we have got these list of numbers 7, 3, 8, 4, 5, 10, 6, 2, 9. Say these are the list of numbers which are in non-decreasing order. So suppose we are intended to sort these numbers in such a way that they will be in order, that is in a increasing order fashion. So at the end you will get these numbers sorted in an increasing order fashion. So now these numbers are in a non-decreasing order. We divide them recursively, that is we split the list recursively until each of the sublist. See, when we divide the list we are getting sublists, so in a tree wise manner, right? And each sublist is further divided until the list contains a single element. So that is nothing but the divide. Okay, and in the second part we are going to merge the sublist based on non-decreasing order. That is, we arrange those numbers in a non-decreasing order until all the numbers have been sorted. So this splitting and merging of process is called as a merge sort. So in this list what we are going to do is we are going to divide them. Basically I will take these as two lists. Now I am going to divide them recursively into. So when we divide this, so I am just writing over the indices over here, the top. So exactly division takes place in the second position. So in the first half of the list you will be having 7, 3, 8. In the next half you will be having 4, 5. Likewise, if I start dividing this, exactly division happens here in the middle of the list. So 10, 6 will be the first half and 2, 9 will be in the second half. So you are going on recursively dividing. Okay, when you divide this list, that is 7, 3, 8, obviously you will have 0. So when we take the division process here, the elements are split up into 7, 3 and 8. Likewise 4 and 5, 10, 6, 2 and 9. Okay, and we are going to further divide until each of the list contains exactly one element. So here all we have got obtained just one element from each list. So here also division takes place until the list contains exactly one element. So after this we have observed that each list contains exactly one element. So now we are going to order them, that is we are going to merge the list based on non-decreasing order until the elements are sorted. So what we are going to do is we are taking these elements, checking which is in order and placing them in order in the same list. Likewise, I am going to take the next element. Okay, so when I combine this I will be getting another list which contains these elements in order. So next I will be taking these two elements 4 and 5, it is in order. Okay, next 10 and 6. So when I combine these two, obviously we are going to sort them and arrange them in an increasing order. So this is the different sublist after arrangement of the items in order. So I am once again combining them. While combining, I am going to check which of them has to be grouped together and should be in increasing order. So likewise, these are the elements which has to be arranged 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this is the final list which contains the elements which are sorted. And this is how merge sort works. Okay, likewise we can also check for the how the problem works for negative items. So let's say we have got these numbers 15, minus 3, minus 2, 6, 10 and 3. So first we start splitting them equally until we get a single element. How many elements are there? 12. So I am going to take 6 in a group. Okay, 6 in the other group. So this will be one list. This will be the other list. Okay, next I am going to divide them recursively in the exactly middle of each list. So in this list you will be getting once again 15, minus 3, minus 2 and in the other list 6, 3, 10. Okay. So if I divide this, we will be getting minus 7, 4, likewise 11, 5 and then minus 8. Next we will be having 15, minus 3, again minus 2, then we will be having 6, 10 and 3. Okay. So next still I have to divide them until I get a single element. So this is the single element. There are two elements here, so I am going to split them until I get the single element 15 and then minus 3 here. Once again this is split into 6 and 10. Okay, till now the process has stopped, the process of splitting has stopped. Next you are supposed to sort them, take these elements, sort them according to in the increasing order. Okay, next I am going to take these, group them by arranging them in order. Okay, I think this element also is there, so minus 8, 5 and 11. Likewise, we will be having minus 3 and 15. Among these two, this is how it can be arranged, right? So when I combine these two, I will be having which is greater or which should be in order. Is it minus 3 is greater or minus 2 is greater? Which is smaller here? Minus 3 is smaller, right? Minus 2 is large. So I am combining them. Likewise 6 and 10, and then I am going to take 3. When I take this 3, I will be getting 3, 6 and 10. Okay, so this is how it goes. Next I am going to group them. So among this minus 8, minus 1, 4, 5, 7, 11. Then I will be having minus 3, minus 2, 3, 6, 10 and 15. Okay. Again when I combine these two, I will be getting the elements in sorted order. Minus 8, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 and 15. Okay, so this is the final list after merge sort. So you can observe that all the elements are arranged in a order. So next topic is about prefix code and weighted trees. So first of all, in this discussion we will see what is the prefix code and its terms. The terms will be used in this prefix code. So as you have observed that a sequence is usually a set whose elements are arranged in order as the first element, second element and third element. That is called as a sequence, right? And the number of elements, for example, I can say this is the sequence. This is a sequence, this is a sequence, and moreover it is a binary sequence. It contains only zeros and ones. And when we say it's a sequence, it should be the elements should be listed in order as this is the first element, this is the second element, and this will be the first element, second element and third element, like that. So the number of elements, how many elements are there in this sequence? 2 elements, and that is called as the length of the sequence. Okay, the length of this sequence is 2, length of this sequence is 3, like that. And moreover, it is a binary sequence because it consists of just zeros and ones. It is called as a binary sequence with length 2 and 3. Okay, so let's say that we want a message that has to be transmitted, and this message consists of these letters or these alphabets A, E, N, R, T, and let's say it has got a code. A has got code 1, E has got code 0, N has got code 10, R has got code 01 and T has got code 101. Okay, and in the coding scheme, let's say the message EAT has to be transmitted. Okay, if you want to transmit the message called EAT, so what will be the coded form of the binary sequence? So E has got 0, A has got 1, T has got 101. So this is the sequence that will be transmitted using prefix code. If you want to transmit EAT, this is the sequence that will be transmitted. Okay, then what the question is, can it be decoded correctly? That is, whether we can get EAT with this, or can we get any other words from this? Basically, decoding should be in such a way that from this sequence I should get back only EAT and not any other sequence. So that is called as the correct decoding. If so, it is not a decoding. If it's not possible to get just this, if you are going to get other than each any other words for this particular sequence, then it is not correct decoding. Okay, let's try it out. What else words can we derive, or what else words can be decoded from this sequence? So 0 is we can have 01, that is we can have R, we can have 101 RT, right? We can also have other words apart from each. We can have RT, and then we can have E, A. We can also have R, A, N, or RAR. We can also have RAR or EAAR. Okay, all these words are possible just by looking at the sequence, because each of them has got a prefix code. It's a code, okay, sequence or binary code. Okay, but it should be, the decoding should be correct. That is, whenever we decode this, we should get back only EAT and not any other words like this. So this is not a correct decoding. It can be decoded into others, right? So it should be such a strong encoding scheme. Let's say we change these codes for the letters. Let's say A has got 10, okay, E has got 0, N has got 1101, R has got 111, T has got code 1100, Okay, now how it can be transmitted, that is the question. How it can be transmitted. So you can have 0 for E, A is 10, T has got 1100. So now, is it possible to decode correctly? That is, whether we get just it from this sequence, that is what we have to check. So, okay, 0, can I have 0, 1? No, because you can observe that here, see 0 was a prefix to the other codes. Therefore, we can have any other codes like this, or we can have any other words for this. Since this code was a prefix of this code, likewise this code was a prefix to two other codes for the alphabets. That's why the coding scheme should be strong. Here you can observe that no such code is the prefix to other codes here. Therefore, it is just this that we will get. We are not going to get any other words apart from each for this particular sequence. Therefore, this can be decoded correctly, and it is a strong coding scheme. Okay, so now we'll see about the prefix code, the concept of prefix code. So let's say P be the set of binary sequences. P be the set of binary sequences that represent the symbols. Okay. So when P is called the prefix code, when do we say P as a prefix code? If no sequence in P is the prefix to any other sequence in P. So what does P denotes? P denotes the set of binary sequences like this. Okay, it denotes the set of binary sequences, and it is called as a prefix code if no sequence in P is the prefix to any other sequence in P. That is like this. For example, this is not a prefix to any other codes, whereas in this example, it was a prefix to other codes. 0 was starting here also. Again, 10 was there included here also. Right? It should not. This is not a prefix code, whereas this is an example for a prefix code. Clear? So, a prefix definition is, let's say P is the set of binary sequence that represents symbols, and P is called as prefix code if no sequence in P is a prefix to any other sequence in P. So, such a sequence is called as a prefix code. Let's consider the sets. P1 is 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0, and let us consider other prefix set 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, and let's say these are the prefix codes. Let us consider the sets. Yeah, you can also observe before saying it is a prefix code, you can also decide, see whether 10 is a prefix to any other code. No, 10 is not, it's not starting. Again, 1101, whether this is a prefix to any other code? No. Whether 0 is a prefix to any other code? No. Therefore, it is a prefix code. Okay. Likewise, 0 0 0, is it a prefix to other codes? No. What about 0 0 1? No. 0 1, is it a prefix to other codes? No. 1 0, no. Right? Again, 1 1 also no. So, therefore, these two are prefix code. Whereas, let us take these sets 0 1 0, 1 0 1, 1 0 and 1. What about this? Whether 0 1 is a prefix to other codes? Okay, what about 1? Is it a prefix? Yes, you can observe here it is included. Right, again 1 0, again here it is included. No matter if these are not included, but see, you can also observe 0 is included here. Therefore, it is clearly not a prefix code. Let us consider this set 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 and 0 0 0 1. What about this? See, you can observe this is a prefix to this code. Likewise, this is a prefix to this code. Okay? So, we can clearly say that these two sets are not prefix code, whereas these two are prefix codes. So, they can also be represented in terms of binary trees like this. So that is, we can construct a tree. Let's say we want to construct a tree for this particular prefix code. Let us write down the prefix code that is taken into consideration. Okay, so this is the prefix code. Now I will be constructing a binary tree. The longest sequence has to be determined. So how do we construct the trees? Basically, we start with the root, okay, and branch out So let's take this prefix code. So instead of this, let us take this prefix code 00001, 010, 011 and 111. So let us represent this as A, B, C, D and E. Okay. So how do we construct the tree? We start with the root, and then for each of the left branch we label them as 0, and for the right branch we are labeling them as 1. So we go on successively until we reach the correct label. Okay. So here we have reached at the third stage 000, which is represented by A. Likewise, B can be, see, the left branch is 0, right branch is 1. Okay. So 001 represents B. Likewise 01, we can also have 01 and 010, right? So both left and right branch. So left branch is 1, right? Left branch is 0, right branch is 1. So I am labeling them. So you can observe that 010 is which code? See, 011 is D code. Likewise, 110, okay, you can have other codes. So here I have included just this code 111. Okay, this is E. Okay, likewise we can have other labels, but this is the way that we can construct the binary tree based on the prefix codes. So let us take an example. In the question, they will be giving a prefix code. Consider the prefix code. For A, it is given as 111. For B, it is given 0. For C, it is given 1100. And for D, we have got 1101. And for E, it is 10. So use this code and decode the following sequences. So the first sequence is given to be 100111 1101. The second sequence is 10 4 ones, 2 zeros, 2 ones, 3 zeros, 2 ones and 01. Okay, let's see how we can decode this based on the prefix code. So first of all, we know that we are going to split this up based on the codes that are given here. So we have got 10 as a code. So I will be splitting like this. Then again we have got 0, we have got 111 and 1101. So this represents the code E, B, A and D. Okay, this is how you decode the symbols back to their original form. Next, we'll observe the sequence. See, 1011. We do not have any such sequence. Instead, we are going to split like this: 10. Then we can have 3 ones. Then 1 0. We can have again 0 separately. Then 1100 is okay. We are going to consider the maximum 1100. Okay. Then 0 1. We cannot consider 0 1. You have to consider 0 separately. Then again 1101 is another sequence. So this represents the code E, A, E, B. Then this is C. This is again B, and this is D. So this is the decoded form. Let's see the next question. the code will be given for A, B, C, D, E. And it is given for each of the alphabets. For A it is given 0, 0, for B it is given 0, 1, for C it is given 1, 0, 1, for D it is given X 1, 0, and for E it is given Y, Z 1. So this is the code that is given, where X, Y, Z they belongs to the set 0 and 1. We are supposed to determine the value of, or determine X, Y and Z, so that the given code will be a prefix code. So we have to find out what is the value of X, Y and Z, so that it will be a prefix code. So for example, we start setting the value of X as 0. So if we set X is 0, so how will the code D look like? So D will be read as 0, 1, 0, right? But you can observe that this again is a prefix, or this will be a prefix to this code, correct? Therefore we cannot set X as 0, therefore X has to be 1, and now D is read as 1, 1, 0. Okay, we are going to fix this. Next, what if Y is 0 now? What if Y is 0, Z is 0? We are going to take all possible choices. If Y is 0, Z is 0, how does E looks like? How does the code alphabet E is turned to 0, 0, 1? Then we can observe that 0, 0 is the prefix to this code. So this is not possible. Now let us take Y is 0, Z is 1. So how will E look like? It will look like 0, 1, 1. But you can observe that B is a prefix to this code. So it is this value is not possible. What if Y is 1, Z is 0? So how does E look like? 1, 0, 1. But C again is exactly it is the same code, so it is not possible. Therefore Y has to be 1, Z has to be 1. That time your code E looks like 1, 1, 1, and it is not a prefix to any code. Okay, so the values of X, Y and Z has to be 1. Only then we can have a prefix code. So the next question is, construct a binary tree that represents the prefix code. So what is the prefix code? The prefix code is 00, 01, 101, 110, 111. So you are supposed to create a binary tree. So how will we start is, we start with the root and we traverse until we get, so labeling has to be in such a way that left branch has to be labeled 0, right branch has to be labeled 1. Okay, so 0, 0 will end up with the, so this was given as alphabet A, B, C, D and E. Okay, so A is represented by the code 0, 0, B is represented by 0, 1 and so on. So when we branch up this, we are going to get 0, 0 which is the code A. Likewise, we are going to get 0, 1 which is the code B. Next, let's split this up 0, 1. So 1, 0 again. We want just 1, okay, 1, 0 and 1. 1 will be in the right branch. So 1, 0, 1 represents which code? C code. And then D is 1, 1, 0. So it is 1, 1, 0 is in the left branch. So this will be 1, 1, 0 which is D code, and 1, 1, 1 is E code. So this is how we construct the binary tree. The next question is, find the prefix code for the letters B, E, I, K, L, T, P, S. If the coding scheme is given here, this is the tree. So based on the tree, you are going to decide the prefix code. So B, E is given, and then you have got I here. This is K, this is L, this will be 0 and this is 1, this is T, 0, 1, P, S. Okay, so based on this you are going to construct a prefix code for B for all for the given codes. That is, the first question is, so suppose the question is asked, that is you have to find the codes for the words pipe and best. Okay, find the codes for pipe and best. And next question is decode the strings 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 1. Okay, this is the thing. So how do you find the code for pipe? So just observe how do we get pipe. 1 1 1 1 0. So this code is 4 ones and then 0, right? Similarly, for how do we get best? So you can observe B is got through 0 0 0. For D you have the code 0 0 1. For S you have 5 ones. And for T you have got 3 ones and 0. So this is the code. So I think I had not completed this pipe. So I will be writing it over here. For pipe, how do we construct pipe? Construct the pipe. For P, I have just written for P the 4 ones and then zeros. Okay, 4 ones and 0. Likewise, I is represented by 0 1. Then P is again 4 ones and 0. For E, you have got 2 zeros and 1. Okay, so this will be the codes for pipe and for best. This is the code. Next, you are supposed to decode the strings given. So they have given the string, you are supposed to find out the alphabets for these. So 0 0 0 0 0. Do we get 4 zeros directly? No, we can have 3 zeros at a stretch. So I will divide this like this. So this represents B. And can we have 0 1 for 3 ones together? 0 1. No, we can have just 0 1, right? So this represents I. What about 1 1 0 0 0? Can we have 1 1 0 0? Not too much zeros, right? We can have 1 1 0 0. So that represents K. Okay, and can we have 0 0 1? Yes, that represents E. So this is decoded into bike. Okay, these are the questions under prefix code. Next we'll see about weighted trees and how do we construct the optimal tree as well as optimal prefix code in the next session. So here let's see about weighted trees and how do we construct the optimal prefix tree as well as optimal tree. Mrs. Archana Priyadashini, Assistant Professor in the Department of ISC, Canara Engineering College. So we'll see the definition of weighted tree first, and then we'll move on to complete weighted tree, and let's discuss about some concepts that is related to weight of a tree as well as some examples related to weighted trees. And after discussion of this weighted trees, let's move on to the construction of optimal tree with some example, and how do we construct the optimal prefix code for tree, or how do we construct the optimal prefix tree will be discussed after this. So let me give the definition of weighted complete binary tree. So let us consider the set of n positive integers with their weights given as W1, W2 and Wn. Let's say n weights or n positive integers represents the weights for the nodes. And let's say we assign these integers to the n leaves of the complete binary tree. Okay, we are going to assign these weights to the n leaves of the complete binary tree. and the tree is represented with the vertex set and edge set. So this resulting tree is called as a complete weighted binary tree with these weights. So if we say L of Wi, so what does this represent? Let's say this represents the level number of the leaf in a tree, okay, to which weight I is assigned. So now how do we say about the weight of a tree? So this is the weight of a tree. We are going to assign them based on the weight for that particular level and multiplied by the level number for that particular weight. So this formula represents the weight of a tree. So I'll give you an example as to how we can find out the weight of a tree. Let's say this is the tree now. This shows a tree with their weights. Okay, so this is the tree. I am taking this as an example of tree T1. So what will be the weight of T1? So it is represented by the weight in that particular level and the level number. You can observe the level number is 3. So 8 into 3 plus 7 into again 3, correct? Plus, what about 5? Its level number is 2. So 5 into 2 plus this level number is just 1. 3 into 1. So calculate this and this will be the weight of tree T1. So we will be getting the answer as 58. So 58 is the weight of tree T1. So likewise, I will be taking another example to calculate the weight. So what we have done basically is we are assigned them to the leaves of the complete binary tree and then we are calculating the weight of this entire tree. So next example I will be taking into consideration is this tree. Okay. So this is these are the weights assigned to the leaves. So when we calculate the weight of this tree T2, so it will be 8 into 2 plus 7 into 2 plus 3 into all are at level 2 itself plus 5 into 2. So this is the weight of the tree. So when we calculate, we get it as 46. Okay, next we'll move to the concept of optimal tree. What is an optimal tree? So let's say we are given set of weights and let's say we consider the set of all binary trees to which whom the leaves of them weight is assigned. Okay, so we are going to consider set of weights and we are going to find out the set of all those trees wherein the weights are assigned to the leaves, and such a tree which carries the minimum weight. So we have calculated the weights here, right, for this tree. Okay, likewise even for this tree the weights are assigned. The weight is 15. Okay, so the weight of this tree is 58. Weight of next tree that we have considered is 46. So when we consider all such trees in that set of trees which carries the minimum weight, that is called as the optimal tree. For example, here this is the optimal tree. Okay, so let me give the definition once again. Given the set of weights, and let's say we consider the set of all complete binary trees like this, and wherein the weights are assigned to the leaves, and a tree in this set which carries the minimum weight, okay, it is called as a optimal tree. And for the given set of weights, we can have more than one optimal tree. Okay, so let's see the construction of optimal tree. Let's say these are the weights 4, 15, 25, 5, 8 and 16. Let's say these are the weights. And let us first arrange these weights in order. So first of all, we are going to label them like I am labeling this as A, B, C, D, E and F. So I will be labeling them with their nodes. So this is 4. So what will I do is, instead of labeling directly, what will I do? I will first arrange these numbers in increasing order. So next we will have got 5, next is 8, next is 15, next is 16, next is 25, and then I will assign the nodes. Okay, that will be easier. So first I will arrange the numbers in order, it is in an increasing order, then I will be assigning the alphabets or the nodes of the tree to it. I will be attaching the nodes with their weights to it. Okay, now we note that the vertices A and B, they carry the smallest weight 4 and 5. Now what do? We add these two weights and get the weight. Okay, we add these two weights and get the weight. So what will be the sum of these two? It will be 9. So upon addition, we are going to again rearrange this. So 9 will not be here. These two will be clubbed into 9. Okay, but it will be arranged after this position. Why? Because 8 is smaller than 9. Okay, it will be arranged in an increasing order. Okay, once we get this increased order, we are going to add the two smallest weight and get the final weight, and then you are going to place that final weighted tree in an increasing order fashion. Okay, so what will be the next level? In the next level, you are going to represent these 8, C8, and then we'll have a vertex V1, let's say V1, whose weights are the sum of these two weights, that is 9. So I'll be representing here 9, which has got A and B, whose weights are 4 and 5. Likewise, write the remaining vertices. Okay, this is how we complete the tree. Next, once again, follow the same procedure. Add the two weights, add the two weights that are having the smallest weight. Now, next what we are going to do is, we are going to add 8 and 9, which are having the smallest weight apart from this. And what will be the sum? Sum will be 17. So I am going to place that entire tree with its root and children here in this position 17. That means you are going to arrange them and then place it. So the tree, the arrangement looks like this. So you will have another vertex V2, which is having the sum of these weights, which is 17, and their children will be C and vertex V1, which is having 9, and then write the remaining tree as it is. Okay, this sum is 8. So next we will be having F, which is having the weight 25. Okay, now again you are going to complete the same procedure. Add these two weights. What will be the sum of these two? We have got 31, right? 31 will be placed here. So we are going to arrange them first and then placing the tree. Okay, the next vertex will be 25. Next we will be having vertex V3, which is having 31, and its children are D and D, whose weights are 15 and 16 as mentioned. So once again I am going to add 17, 25, which are the smallest weights. Find out the sum. What will be the sum? The sum will be 42. So I should be placing the sum of these trees in the correct position, that is after this. So next ordered position will be, this is the procedure of constructing an optimal tree. So I have already given the procedure. Now I am just saying you how to arrange them and how to get a tree. So I am placing this over here. Next will be the vertex V4, which is the sum of 17 plus 25, which is 42, and children are V2, which is having 17 weights, and F, which is having 25. Next it is its own tree. Okay, so we have got two trees. Now At the end we are going to get a single root. So sum of these two, 31 and 42, will be 73. So that will be the root weight, 73. And its children are vertex V3 and vertex V4. V3 is having weight 31. D and D are its children, 15, 16. Vertex V4, its children are V2, F, having 17, and this is 25. Once again, C, V1. Four and 5. So this is the final optimal tree, and you can observe that we are going to get all the labels, all the nodes in the leaf level, A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Now we can also calculate the weight of this tree. So how do we calculate the weight? Considering this, start from A, 4. What is the level? 1, 3, 4. Right, it is at level 4. So we are going to get the weight plus their level. Weight into level will be for that weight of the particular node. Likewise, 5 into level is 4. And then next calculate for C, it is 8. And what is the level? It is 3. So 8 into 3 plus for D, next for D, 15 into 2, for E again 16 into 2, and for F again 25 into 2. So this will be the weight of this optimal tree. So you can calculate this. And the answer is 172. And the procedure that we use to construct this optimal tree, it is called as an Huffman's procedure. Okay, it's called Huffman's procedure. And such a tree obtained is called as a Huffman's tree. Okay. So next we'll move on to optimal prefix code. Optimal prefix code. So the Huffman tree can be used to obtain a prefix code for the symbols representing in its leaves. And for this purpose, what we do is we first label them. Here in the optimal prefix code, you are going to label them, label the leaves, label the branches. We can say label the branches. So first we are going to label in its edges, and the labeling procedure is as mentioned here. That is, all the left branches are assigned 0 and right branches are assigned 1 for a particular parent. And whatever binary sequence that we use with the leaves, that is used to identify a prefix code for the symbols, and this prefix code is called as the optimal prefix code. So I will be repeating its definition, that is, we are using Huffman's tree for constructing an optimal tree. And that can be used to obtain a prefix code. Yes, because we know how to get a prefix code from the tree. Okay, but moreover to that, here we start labeling the edges. That is, in the left branch we are labeling them as 0, and right branch we are labeling them as 1. So in this tree can be refined as an optimal prefix code just by labeling them 0, 1, 0, 1. 0, 1, and we can give the prefix code in terms of binary sequence, which can be used for coding and decoding. Okay, and this prefix code obtained is called as the optimal prefix code. So we are assigning the label symbols zeros and ones. So I am using the same reference of the previous tree. So here we had got A and B in the previous tree. Here C, D, E and F, right? So this was our previous tree. I just labeled the edges with zeros and 1, and you can observe that the sequence for A will be 1, 0, 1, 0, and for B we are getting 1011. For C the prefix code, optimal prefix code is 100. For D we can have 00. For E we can have 01. For F it is 11. Okay, so this is the optimal prefix code for the symbols. So you may get also a question related to finding the optimal prefix code. The question is, construct an optimal prefix code for the symbols. So here they will be giving the frequencies. Okay, they will be giving the frequencies A, O, Q, U, Y, Z that occur with frequency. Frequencies are given. For A it is 20, for O it is 28, and for Q it is 4, for U it is 17, for Y it is 12, and for Z it is 7, like that. So we are going to construct an optimal prefix code. So first of all, we are treating these frequencies as weights, and we are going to arrange them and then mark them with the notes. Okay. So first, what is the arrangement? First it starts with 4, and 4 has been labeled to Q. As per this, 4 has been labeled to Q. I will mark this as 4. Next we will have 7, that is Z. These are the weights. Okay, next arrange them. So next we will get 12, so that is having the node label as Y. Next we will be having U, is having 17. Next it is A, 20. I am arranging the weights and writing them. Next we will have 28. Now what we do, we are going to construct an optimal tree in the procedure, in a Huffman procedure form. That is, we are going to combine them with the smaller weights and assigning them with the weight level. And when we combine them, you can observe that the sum of the weights is 11, which is less than 12. So however, I can fix the tree over here and then arrange the remaining vertices. So we will be getting this tree. So this is the next level. Next I will be combining these two, and what is the sum? The sum is 23, which will be fixed in this position. So I will be arranging them and placing. So here the sum will be vertex V2, their sum will be 23. So I will be fixing their children here in this manner. Next you have got O, which is having weight 28. So all the weights are arranged in order. Next, once again you follow the same procedure until you get a single root. So I will be combining these two. Their sum of the weights is 37. So I will be fixing them in the last position based on the weight. So the next level looks like 23. Next you will be having vertex V1, 11. Y, which is having 12, Q and Z, their weights. I am writing their weights. Next will be vertex O. Next you have the combined new tree with their weights 37, and the children are U and A. Their weights are 17 and 20. Okay. So once again follow the same procedure. So combine these two, their weights will be 51, right? Yes, their weights will be 51, and that entire tree which combines these two will be fixed in the next position. So 37, U, A will be the new tree, and their weights are 17 and 20. The new tree is having weight 51 with their children V2, 23, and then we have got O, 28, D1, 11. I am just combining them with the new vertex and their sum of the weights with 51. I am just joining them. Okay, you can observe their children are y, v1 and y, and again you have got subchildren 4 grandchildren. So here you can observe the hierarchy of in the tree. Fine. So we have got 2 such trees. We have to again follow the same procedure until we get a single rooted tree. So their sum, combine their sum and get a new vertex of the root. Their sum is 88. Okay, so that will be the final tree with the weight 88, and their children having the weights 17, 20, and then you will have their grandchildren. You can complete the tree like this. So this is our final tree, optimal tree. But if you want to construct an optimal prefix tree, what we are supposed to do is we are going to label them just by zeros, ones, 0, 1, okay, 0, 1, 0, 1. See here I am not including all these labels. What will I do is, in an optimal prefix tree, we are just going to include the labels and their leaf nodes. Okay, so this is how it looks. This will be Z, this will be Q. You have Q, Z, Y and O, U and A, right? So as per the previous tree, U, A, Q, Z, Y, O. I am not including the weights. So this is just a optimal tree, whereas this is a optimal prefix tree. We are going to assign labels. So in the next step, let's find out the optimal prefix code. In the question they have asked to find out the optimal prefix code for these letters A, O, Q, U, Y, Z. So what is the prefix code for A? Prefix code for A is 0, 1. Prefix code for O is 1, 1. Prefix code for Q is 1, 0, 0, 0. 3 zeros. Okay. Then prefix code for U, it is 0, 0. Prefix code for Y is 1, 0, 1. Next prefix code for Z is 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay, this is one question. Next, we'll see another different kind of question wherein they'll be giving you a word and they may ask you to deduce the code or indicate the code for that particular word. Let's consider the question. Obtain an optimal prefix code. Obtain an optimal prefix code for the message letter received. Okay, letter received. Indicate the code. So this is the question. You are going to find out the optimal prefix code for the message letter received and you are going to indicate the code for it. So here the weights are not given specifically. What you are going to do here is, first of all, the message consists of these letters. Okay, L, it consists of E, T, R, C, I, V, D. Okay, these letters. I am not considering here repetitions. Now these repetitions in the letters denotes the frequencies or its speeds here. Got it? So even we have to include the blank spaces. Here there is a blank space. This also has to be considered while we construct a tree. Okay, let's arrange them. First we start with the, you can observe that L is repeated how many times in this give word letter received? Just once. E is repeated how many times? E is repeated 5 times, you can observe. 5 times E is repeated. So its frequency or its weight is 5. T is repeated twice, right? R is repeated again twice. C is repeated once. I is repeated once. V is repeated once and D is repeated once. So going to arrange them in order first of all. So I'll be arranging it in anyhow, in any manner. So it doesn't matter if all the frequencies are one. In that arrangement, once again, it's not required. You can arrange it in any order. That's why they have told there can be more than one optimal tree, optimal prefix code tree for a particular sequence. So let's say I arrange this L, C, I, V, D. Then you have got space. You remember space, it has got one sequence, one frequency. Then T is repeated twice, R is repeated twice. Then E is repeated 5 times. So this is the order. I have arranged this in order now. Now I will combine them according to their smallest weight. So when I combine this, sum of the weights will be 2. So I will be arranging this entire tree over here. Okay, or I can arrange it in any manner. I can arrange it here also, because its weight is 2, right? So the tree next level looks like this. We can also fix this vertex here also with their children L and C having weights 1, then E is having weight 5. So I can fix this tree here in between anywhere within the range of 2's. Okay, so we get many such optimal prefix codes. It's not that this is the only one optimal prefix code tree that you are going to get, but we can have any such trees. Fine, let me write the next level. So in the next level, we are going to combine these two and get the corresponding weights, weighted tree. Next, this is the next level. So we'll have vertex V2. This is having the weights, is having children I and V. Before this, I'll be writing this one. It's my wish. So L and C. Anyhow, you can write it. It's not that this is the way I have to arrange. No, anyhow, you can arrange this. Next, I'll be having E with its weight 5. Don't forget to include all the notes here with all the frequencies. Like that, go on constructing a tree. Okay, next we'll be getting T and R with its weight, and next L and C was a tree before. This was a tree before. This also was a tree. IV with its weight 1, 1. Next, this is a new tree that is constructed from D and space. D and space. And then I have got E, which is having 5. Okay. Next, once again follow the same procedure. Next, I have another new vertex which is having weights. You can observe 4. 2 plus 2. It's 4. The new weighted tree with weight 4. Okay. So T and R 2, 2. And E is the last vertex. Next, let's combine these two. We get a new vertex with whose weight is 4. So I can fix it here. So the next level looks like this. Vertex B3, D and space. Next vertex B4, T and R, the previous tree. And a new tree with vertex B5 whose weight is 4, and the trees are V1 with the weight 2, V2 with weight 2, then L, C 1, and I, V weights are 1. Then we have got vertex E. Okay, so we'll get again another tree just by combining this, whose weights are 2 and 4. We get a new tree whose final weight is 6. So I'm going to add the final combined tree over here at this end. That is what I'm arranging them and placing the tree. The next level looks like this. So E and 5. Next is vertex 6 whose weight is 6. And the tree looks like this: vertex 3, 2, V, 4, it is 4, D and space is their grandchildren. So T, R, 2, 2. Okay, so now again I'm going to combine these two into a tree. So whose weight is 9, so I'm fixing them in the next position. V3, 2, V4. I'm writing the next level of the tree: 1, 1, T, R, 2 and 2. So next new tree is having weight 9 and whose children are V5 and E. So complete the trees. Okay, now we have got two trees. Finally, we will be getting a combined tree whose weights are 15. So the new tree is having a root whose weight is 15. And the children are V6, 6, V7, 9. Complete the tree. Okay, so this is the final tree. Now let's write the optimal prefix tree. For this I am labeling zeros and ones to the left branches of the tree. So T, R, D and space. Okay, next we get E over here. 0, 1, 0, 1 and again 0, 1, I, V, L, C. Okay, so this is the optimal prefix tree. Next, you are going to find out the codes for all these alphabets. So what is the prefix code for L? Prefix code for L is 1000. Prefix code for C is 1001. Okay, prefix code for I is 1010. Prefix code for V is 1011. Prefix code for D is 000. Prefix code for space is 001. Prefix code for T is 010. Prefix code for R is 011. Next, prefix code for E is 11. Okay, we have completed writing the code based on the optimal prefix tree. So this is all about prefix code, prefix tree and construction of optimal prefix tree. So this is the end of module 5. Thank you for patient listening.